right. So, we're going to talk to you today about symptoms and kind of the red flags around when we're dealing with symptoms and, why is no one talking about this? So, when it comes to pesky symptoms that many of us have just learned to live with and accept as a part of our life, but do they have to be? Are they something that we have to live with? And we're also going to share how getting to the root cause is the secret that's actually needed to make them go away. So, hi, I'm Kate.
And I'm Amanda, and we're from Align Natural Health.
So, our stories when it comes to symptoms, when it comes to living with things, I dealt with a lot of things in the past. I dealt with sleep problems, I dealt with periods from hell, I dealt with weight gain, even though I was working out a lot and I was eating really well. But I wasn't able to find a solution. And when I went to my doctor, the medical solutions that I was given was sleeping pills for the sleep. And when it came to the periods from hell, the solution that I was given, so let me back up for a second. I had periods from hell growing up, and then for 5 years, I had no periods, which was a total mystery for me and a mystery for the doctors I was working with too. And so their solution was at first, let's put you on the birth control pill, which I had a really adverse reaction to. And to be honest, it could have killed me. And so when I came off of the birth control pill, my periods came back a few years later with a vengeance, and it was a nightmare. I would bleed to death like multiple days of the month. I had no energy. It was awful. And so I went to my doctor, and the solution that I was given was, well, let's just remove your uterus. And for a lot of women, this is the solution that their doctors are coming up with. And it's not their fault. They just don't know how else to deal with things. This is a pretty drastic way of dealing with things, and it's not really figuring out why. What's the cause of what you're dealing with? So, what about you, Amanda? What's your experience been like?
I've had sinus issues, teeth grinding, uh, skin related things on my hands, and generally, well, when it came to the skin issues, I went to the doctor about it, of course, because it was actually at one point quite painful when the skin would dry and start to peel, and I got a steroid cream for that. And the only reason the teeth grinding came up was when I went to the dentist and they noticed the wear on my teeth and they said, okay, let's get you fitted for a mouth guard to protect your teeth. And these solutions were all to handle the symptoms of what was going on, even with the sinus issues. When it got bad enough, like I dealt with it just because it was there, I didn't really think about it. And when it got bad enough and I had serious sinus infections, obviously going to my doctor because it was painful. And again, it's just antibiotics or whatever the medication is. So that's kind of been what my experience has been with that.
And mine as well. And that's something that we see a lot of times with clients too. And what can happen when symptoms become something that's happening often or over and over and over again, and they keep coming back, and we keep taking the medication, but it's not actually resolving the issue. This is considered chronic when symptoms keep coming back. And a common belief with chronic symptoms is that, oh, that's just me.
Mm-hmm.
That's something that you often hear. And I mean, that was me in the past too. It was like, oh, I'm just a kind of person who has really heavy periods. Or I'll hear from clients, oh, it's just in my family. I was friends with, or I went to play hockey a couple of months ago now, and sitting in the dressing room, and there was a girl talking about similar to what you said with the teeth grinding, where it was something that, she was going to get her teeth dealt with at the dentist because she'd worn her enamel so thin that they had to do a medical procedure to try and
Mm-hmm.
fix it. And when I said, like, holy crap, like, how long have you been dealing with that? Her response was, oh, it's just me. It's in my family. My whole family does that. And
Yeah,
when
crazy.
things keep coming back, this is considered chronic. And the common belief here is that it's in my family, it's just who I am, and there's nothing that we can do about it because it's just always the way it's been. It's something you've
Mm-hmm.
always dealt with, right?
Yeah. But does it have to be is the question to ask.
It is the question, and it's the question to ask, like asking your doctor may give you a solution. In my experience, it didn't. But this is where we need to start digging deeper. We need to find someone who's willing to work with us and willing to help us figure out why. And so basically, here we have two choices. We can keep doing what we've always been doing. Let's use allergies for an example, because this is something that a lot of people struggle with. And this is often a multiple times a year situation. And so with allergies, so what do? Choice one is we accept the symptoms. We accept the runny nose, the sneezing. We avoid the outdoors. We avoid being around pets. We avoid the things that make our symptoms worse. And then we take the allergy medication X number of times a year. This might be once a year for you. It could be twice. It could be something that you're taking all of the time. And the problem with this approach is that you're basically putting a piece of tape over the check engine light in your car. It keeps coming on. And so you just, keep putting the piece of tape there and just, it's no big deal. Out of sight, out of mind. I don't have to worry about this. But when it comes to your car, you can replace that. When it comes to your health, when it comes to your body, this is not something that you can just replace. You only get one of those, right? And when we're just putting the tape over the check engine light, we're not actually taking a look and saying, why? Why is this happening in the first place? And if it's your car, one day your engine doesn't start, or your brakes go on you when you're on the highway, or your power steering fails. That's happened to me. It's awful. But if you're constantly ignoring the check engine light on your car, eventually the car shuts down, and then we can replace it. But if it's your body and your body starts shutting down, that's a really big problem that's happening.
Yeah, a very big problem. We're very much a reactive society. And sometimes people need that punch in the gut to think differently. So here we go. What if you're not handling the underlying issue? What if you're not handling that issue and it leads to something bigger down the road? What if it leads to cancer? What if it leads to heart disease? What if it leads to whatever serious thing you want to think of? You have an option to do something different for yourself and your health today. This is a choice. This is choice number 2. What is that going to be? And I think starting with having an open mind to the idea that the symptoms that you're experiencing are just a message from your body telling you that there's something wrong. And the message can be one of two things. Basically, something's missing from the body, like maybe there's nutrients, vitamins, minerals. You're not getting enough sleep. You're not maybe getting enough movement. Or there's something that doesn't belong there. It could be a chemical, a toxin, maybe it's mold, radiation. There's so many things that could be there, and these are the things we need to be aware of.
Absolutely. And when it comes to, there's two things you can do here as well. We have the medical approach or we have the holistic approach. And when it comes to the medical way of looking at things generally, the approach is, okay, let's send you for testing. Let's see if you fit within this parameter that allows us to give you a certain medication so that we can treat this. And ultimately, it's not about finding the cause of what's going on. The holistic way of doing things is about finding the cause. Why are you dealing with the symptoms that you're dealing with? As holistic practitioners, we know that without finding and addressing the cause, the problems are never actually going to go away. When you're not finding the cause and giving the body the support that it needs, the body can't heal. And if your body's not able to heal, you're not going to move forward in the direction that you want. This was my experience in the past, even in terms of, the weight that was creeping on when I was, in my early to mid 30s. I started to gain weight. I was working out. I was eating really clean, but I wasn't losing any weight. I was gaining, actually, if anything. And this was because there was support that my body needed to be able to heal. And when it's not able to heal, you're not going to get any kind of results. So this is how we help our clients. This is also how we've worked with our own issues as well, similar to what I just mentioned. And this is something we will continue to work on. Even as practitioners, we both work with a practitioner who helps us as well. And it's about gaining an understanding that our symptoms weren't just something that we had to accept and live with. That was the first step. And for a lot of people, that's the case, right? It's the, this is just in my family, or this is just how it's always been, can be like a trap that you fall into where you think like there's nothing else I can do. or, this is just something that I have to accept and have to live with. But this is something that's not talked about often enough, in my opinion. But you don't have to just live with your symptoms. Even if you always have, even if it runs in your family, even if, you've tried so many things before and nothing has worked, we can help you. We use a technology called quantum nutrition testing that lets us help you find the root cause of your symptoms. Where is the body functioning well? Where is the body not functioning well? And what's the support that it needs? Because when we can give the body the support of what it needs, that's where it's able to get back into balance. And a body that's out of balance is going to be headed for problems. But when we give it the support that it needs, our bodies actually do pretty incredible things. They're trying to get us healthy all of the time, but there's things getting in their way, or there's things that they need that they're not getting. So if you'd like to learn more about how we can help you, you can find us at our website, which is alignednaturalhealth.com. I'll also drop the link in the comments below just to make it easy for you. And so you can figure out, what's going on with you? What's the cause of the symptoms that you're dealing with? And then we can help you find a solution that's going to be, a way to move forward and to get the results that you want.
Perfect. So here's my question as we wrap up. As you think about your day to day, what comes to mind now? Is there perhaps a symptom that you've been dealing with that you haven't been aware of, that you've gotten used to, that you've just accepted? What are you aware of now that you don't have to live with? How could your life be different if you didn't have that symptom anymore? How could it be different? Can you imagine how it can be instead? How amazing it can be not to deal with that symptom every day? And that's kind of the question I want to leave with you. Like, just imagine what your life could be like, can be like, without having any of those symptoms. It is possible. You just have to be open to it and want to go after it. And when you're ready to do that, we're here to support you and work with you if you're ready. So thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please send us a message. We're both on Instagram and Facebook. And yeah, I think that's all. Kate, anything else from you?
That's amazing. I mean, I just really want to get this message out to people that like there are other options for you. And that was something that, both of us didn't understand in the past when dealing with health stuff. We thought that we were stuck, and you're not. You're never stuck. There are always other options for you. It's just about finding the right person who's going to help you dig deeper and figure out what you actually need to start moving in the right direction. So hopefully you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, have a good day.